Okay.
Shall we
So,
start?
Dr. Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of NutriJockey. Topic: Supplements in Adolescence in 2021. Live with Department of Food and Nutrition of Maniban Nanapati Women's College, and a guest speaker for today, Ms. Jayashri Paranspe, who is currently working at BYL Nair Hospital for the past 32 years. She has also been a part of various programs like the Midday Meal program launched by the Government of India and is a national and international level speaker. A very warm welcome, ma'am. Would you like to say a few words before we begin?
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me for this very interesting session. And I'm doing this Insta Live for the first time, so it's a new experience for me. And by saying that I have been working for last 32 years, you make me feel very old. Anyway, so
I'm
I
sorry,
hope
I'm
I
extremely
do.
sorry.
No, not at all. It was just a joke. So what I'm saying is, yes, this current topic, I don't uh, mean to sound like an auntie, old auntie, talking about supplements and saying no. Talking seriously, this nutraceutical or dietary supplement is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and why we are attracted to it is, see, humans in general are always searching for shortcuts to reach our goals. Simply, I'll say that even when you want to reach your college and you sit in an auto and you will tell that auto wala ki bhaiya koi nazdik ka paas ka rasta dhoond lo, and you are ready to go either ways just to reach your goal, and that is what these dietary supplements do to us. Now, in 2020, one study was conducted, and in that study, they found that 37% of the people who were interviewed, they were taking some or the other kind of dietary supplement. Okay, so that's a huge number. So you can understand why it's a multi-million dollar industry. Now, what do you mean by a dietary supplement, right? So dietary supplement, we have to understand that it's an agent which promotes health. It is not an agent which is given to cure the disease or to treat the disease. So that is something which we have to always remember. It is something which promotes health. Having said that, it comes in the form of pills, powders, shakes, liquids, all kinds of things, right? So, why do you think that people, and right now when I say people, because this program is for adolescent or college going children, I will say mainly youth, why they are attracted, although it is not it is not age specific. All age people are attracted to these dietary supplements, but mainly your age children are attracted by, because industry is feeding on your wish to look, in a certain way, and certain body image issues are created that you have to look in certain ways in society. When you go around, even in your family gathering, you are always questioned about, or you are commented on you are expected to have a certain body image, and that's why some unrealistic goals are set, that you have to look in certain way or whatever, and that's why we search for these shortcuts. And industry offers great results, that you take this pill and this will happen, you take these shakes and you will lose weight, and we fall for it. So that is why these dietary supplements are a thriving business. We will see more about it during our question answer session. I'm sure you must be having some questions which are
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
throw at me.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, ma'am. So, with your permission, I would like to start with the question and answers which our viewers have. So,
Go ahead.
ma'am, can I start? Yes. So the
Yeah, yeah,
first
please.
question is, can meals be replaced by supplements? What is your take on
Uh,
it?
yeah. So, see, I specifically work in clinical setup where, uh,
Hmm.
as you rightly said, I'm working in a hospital, multi-specialty hospital, where need of supplements will be different. Okay, the supplements are used in various ways. When you are talking about replacing meal with a supplement, um, what happens is when you are on journey, at times you reach some plateau and your weight is just moving. Or for some people, for some working girls or college going students, having that square meal or balanced diet, although there is no alternative for balanced diet, but it at times becomes difficult. So in those unusual circumstances, a meal replacer, especially if you're on uh, weight loss, it may play a role. Having said that, let me make it very clear. You should not just pick up a meal replacer, sorry, and
Hmm.
start taking it. That you will never lose weight if that is the with which you are taking that meal replacer. Meal replacer also, if you're planning to take, it should always be under the supervision and guidance of a qualified dietitian who will first do your dietary assessment. She will check whether you really need it, whether there is no other alternative, and what else can be clubbed with that shake or a supplement. I'm sure when you mean replacer, you mean those uh, nutrition, I mean, those protein shakes which you're talking about, right? Or meal
Right.
replacer shakes. So, only under her guidance of a qualified person, in some circumstances, yes, you may be, uh, I mean, you can replace that meal because that particular shake gives you the required nutrients in correct proportion
Hmm.
that you require. But randomly over the counter, anybody just picks up the shake and uses it. No, it doesn't work that way for sure. Okay. And
Right.
just one small point that, see, as Indians, or I will just talk about Indians because my patients are mainly Indians. So having that shake, at particular meal just does not give you that mental satisfaction of having eaten something. I'm not talking
Hmm.
about all those, who are participating in some beauty pageants or the athletes or everywhere, because then their targets are different. But generally, girls like you, just having that shake for 3 4 days, 10 days, 15 days, it might work. But you need something to chew. Unless you chew, at your mealtime, it doesn't give you that satisfaction. So yes, it can replace meal for certain individuals under guidance. Okay.
Okay. So coming to the supplements topic, do you think are how safe are they for consumption and what are its side effects?
Uh, See, when you say dietary supplements, it encompasses so many things. It can be amino acids, it can be vitamin or mineral supplements, then fatty acid supplements, protein supplements, herbal, Ayurvedic, everything and everything goes under the name of dietary supplements. Unfortunately, there are means, as far as its purity or its contamination and all is concerned, it is not regulated by the abroad or even here. As far as labeling is concerned, there are no set rules. So when you are picking up a bottle of anything, you should always think first whether you need it, because even excess of a particular supplement, okay, can lead to hyper. Say if you're taking a vitamin supplement, so if it is a fat soluble vitamin, it can lead to hypervitaminosis, which can have its own consequences. Again, if you're taking protein in excess, if you're, frankly speaking, anything that is taken in excess can cause problem. And some supplements can have, if you are taking some medication, you are on medicine, it can have that drug nutrient interaction, which as a consumer you may not be even aware, right? So from that perspective, I will say, if at all, whenever you decide to take any dietary supplement, please consult your doctor, physician, or a qualified dietitian, and only then you start taking any supplement randomly, because it is readily available. You just have to go, and then there are no rules. Like for example, for certain medication you need prescription, but for dietary supplements you don't require any kind of prescription. Also, when you visit a medical, I mean when you visit a pharmacy, they can easily replace your prescription. Okay, many a times you will see that they will say, नहीं नहीं ये भी अच्छा है, इसके बदले आप ये लो, ये भी अच्छा है, and you know, all that, and that's why it is not really safe in that term. Okay?
Right. So, because you mentioned the Ayurvedic supplements, how effective are they and how safe are they?
Again,
Are they
it
better
comes.
from the artificial ones, or
See, again, we come back to the question of regulation. Unfortunately, here or anywhere, anything under the guise of Ayurvedic sells. You know, anything, once it is said herbal, people pounce on it without even realizing the components. Many a times, we are not even aware, we don't even bother to check what are the components, okay, of that so-called Ayurvedic supplement. So it might contain some products which are not real, which are harmful, I should say, which contain at times metalloids, which can you know, cause liver injury, or they might result in renal injury, kidney injury. So, and by the time that injury is done, I mean, we have already taken it in so much of quantity that it is beyond repair at times. So even these Ayurvedic supplements, be it Ayurvedic, be it herbal, be it natural, whatever you may like to call it, any kind of dietary supplement should see. This one message I want to give it to everyone is that anything that you are going to ingest, which you are going to consume for a number of days, months, whatever it may be, you should always be very, very cautious. You should check if there is sufficient evidence for the claims which they are saying that it will result in XYZ. So do you know how many people do you know who have consumed that particular supplement and who have been benefited? Or if they are providing you enough evidence, because this is the zamana of evidence-based medicine and evidence-based nutrition. So you should not play with your health at all. Right? So even that name Ayurvedic should alert you. Yeah?
right? Right. So, for instance, if a person is using supplementary products, is it good for any person to use them for a longer period of time or over a period of time?
See, uh, again we come back to the same thing. Like for example, now because I'm working in clinical setup, I will give you an example. If somebody is like a cachectic person, now you understand what I mean by cachectic. It means that he is very sick person, he has lost lot of weight, he is not having appetite, and he is unable to eat. Maybe he is having kind of, I won't say nausea, but generally he does not have appetite. Now, for such a person, giving a dietary supplement offers nutrition in minimum quantity. That if he consumes, you know, these dietary supplements in certain amounts, it will give him a standard dose of nutrition. So it works well in that setup. Or for example, if somebody is very, very sick, he is on enteral nutrition support, on tube feeding, they're giving those dietary supplements are needed till that person is weaned off from tube feeding to oral diets. But for a general population, okay, for adolescent girls and boys, or for your parents, just taking these supplements and keep popping those vitamin pills. Many people do that because you are always told by media, or you keep reading, or on WhatsApp message, that nowadays soil is not so good, the food that you are getting, the nutrients are not available to your body. All these kind of messages keep popping in, and that's why they keep saying that taking these tablets in elemental form will work for you. And that's why you may go and buy that. But again, saying the same thing, the first question you should be asking is, why am I taking it, and am I taking it with a proper guidance? Taking randomly, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for anyone.
Right. So usually, what I have seen is that people who go to gym use a lot of supplements. So does that in some way help gain more muscles, or boost the stamina, or help in performance?
So I'll tell you one thing, that see, sports business and sports nutrition is an upcoming field of nutrition. Lot of research is being done in this. Coming specifically to gym is totally a different business altogether. And all those gym instructors, I mean, I will not say all, but most of the gym instructors which are there, either they have kind of been in that gym and they have lost some weight, or they have gained some muscles, whatever. They are hired, and then they are given certain targets, and then that is why they will, and they may not even know proper physiology. They have not had that training, and then they will simply, anyone who walks in the gym, their first agenda is to push that whey protein supplement down your throat. And I see many of these boys even in our hospital. I mean, we come across many boys, especially boys will come up with that should I take a whey protein supplement. Now here I want uh, to tell you one thing. This answer will be little long. I will not bore you, but you need to
That's
know
okay.
this. Yeah, that sports. When we say sports or sports performance, it means it involves your psychological makeup, your physiologic and metabolic training, which is specific to that performance, and it is very very vital. Now these athletes who are taking proper training, they are genetically endowed, but even with that genetic makeup, they need optimal training, okay, to increase physical power, to enhance their mental strength. All of this together will enhance their performance. What happens is, many athletes also will offer, they will attempt to go beyond that training, and they will use some substances, or they might use some technologies to attain that competitive edge. You know what I mean by competitive edge? Because they want to excel, and that's why these regulations have now come up, that what you can use to enhance your performance and all of that. So problem comes there. Now coming to your specific question of whey protein supplement, I will tell you, recently in European Journal of Nutrition, the 2019 this, they studied supplement with purported effect on muscle mass and muscle strength. Okay, now in this study, what they found was that long-term consumption of creatine, protein, PUFA, they seem to consistently increase or preserve the muscle mass and strength, and it is shown to have evidence of A category. Now, but what you need to remember is that simply consuming these protein supplements is not going to have any effect. You also, there are factors like timing of the ingestion when you are taking that protein supplement, before training, after training, what other nutrients you are clubbing with it, what you are taking, whether you are taking it with carbohydrate, water, whatever, or the type of protein that you are taking, whether it is casein protein, whether it is whey protein, all of these things will decide whether it is going to enhance your performance. Now here, just a small note, another thing which, since I happen to talk about creatine, today I am not promoting, mind you, creatine or anything. Simply I'm telling you the science behind it. Creatine is a fuel to muscles. Okay, basically, but if you take creatine with resistance exercise, okay, that is weight training and all those kind of exercises, only then it is proven to have, I mean, it aids in increasing the strength of the muscle mass, and it also enhances your performance. So uh, that is with creatine. But again, if you are a sedentary person, just like a college going girl or a college going boy, and you just to increase your muscle mass, and you decide to go and pop in creatine, that is not going to have any effect, mind you. And you should not also be taking all these supplements without proper guidance from an expert in this field. So yes, some of these do have, they have been studied, and there is evidence to show that some of these have a role to play. But again, with proper guidance and with proper, uh, I mean, with an expert who can guide you in that matter.
Right.
Okay.
So, since you're working in a clinical environment in a hospital, I'm sure you must be getting patients with anorexia and depression. So, is there any scientific study or evidence based where it's proven that supplements are useful for treating depression? And if so, how and which supplements?
As I told you initially, only a dietary supplement is not something which treats a condition. Okay, it can simply aid in the recovery. So there are some micronutrient supplementations which are studied. There is evidence which help in mood elevation, or they have been used in depression. But yes, again, for, I mean, I might sound very repetitive, but for everything, you should not consider taking these pills as a treatment protocol, or rather not as a treatment but as a curative property. These supplements just aid your well balanced nutrition plan. Okay, so yes, they are there, they have been studied. There are studies which are ongoing, where they are studying different micronutrients, uh, as you are saying about depression. Anorexia and depression are two different things. Maybe depression is part of someone who is having anorexia nervosa, that I agree. But treating anorexia is different, and treating clinical depression is different. Okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So, are there any so most of the supplements help you gain weight and muscle. So, are there any supplements which help you lose weight, or is that just
Uh,
a myth?
no. You made a very uh, this statement that most supplements help you gain weight or gain muscles. It is not like that. Uh, what I have said is different supplements have different roles. Okay, means
Okay.
if you are talking about like meal replacers helping you to lose weight, and certain of these dietary supplements helping you to gain muscle. But again, uh, see, you also have to remember, when if you are kind of obsessed with the weight part of it, what you need to remember is when you say body weight, it consists of water, muscles, bones, and adipose tissue, right? All these four components
Right.
make your body weight. So when you say, I want to lose weight, what you must decide first, if it is possible, get body composition analysis done to find out exactly how much fat is there, how much muscle mass, lean body mass is there, the bone density, and then you will know what you need to lose or what you need to gain, for that matter. Okay, so and just having these dietary supplements is not going to help you either to lose weight, to gain weight, or any health benefit. It always has to be a part of your well balanced diet. There is no option for a well balanced meal. Okay, these are just the aids in recovery of or fatigue resistance, or giving that feeling of wellness. So yes, there are all kinds of supplements which are available: weight gainers, weight losers, vitamins, and whatnot. Right?
Yes. So there's a question in the chat box. What are your thoughts on health drinks which are given to children in their growing age?
It's an I mean, it I would say it's an effective advertising gimmick, right? These health drinks, you can get all of that nutrition just by consuming a healthy diet. Now, what is happening with young parents is, maybe they are so busy working, right? Their work schedules are horrible, to say the least. And if they don't have help at home, uh, or all those who are coming from poor socioeconomic groups, but they get carried away with all these claims which state that if you consume 2 spoons of this particular milk powder, add it to milk, and you will grow in height, it provides you with good health, they fall for it, and they will go for these such healthy drinks. Now, what is wrong with having a cup of milk? It is healthy enough. Or having all your nuts, be it a groundnut or be it any other nut, on fruits. We actually, in India, we have such great variety, and especially in city like Mumbai, where you are exposed to different cultures, different communities, and each community has their own specific, what can I say, nice recipes. Uh, Actually, if you will go in like history of food science, our ancestors have thought about all these different combination, cereal pulse combination, how food is to be eaten, when it is to be eaten, seasonally what you should eat and what you should avoid. Unfortunately, we have sort of forgotten what our ancestors have told us, or what our ajis and grandmas and they have been following. Over a period of time, we are losing that discipline, and that's why now we fall for such things like health drink, which is absolutely not a requirement at all. If you simply give nut mixture, different nuts are there: almonds, pistachios, cashews, whatever. So what we call masala doodh, that's good enough health drink for all children possible. If you can afford it, have a masala doodh. Or if you can't, your ragi sattva, nachni powder, but in rural Maharashtra or in some areas, they have what is called ambil. That is also a good enough health drink. So just go back, talk to your mothers, talk to your grandmothers, and you will get answers for all these health drinks. in our, cultural eating habits.
Yes, ma'am, I absolutely agree. It's been in our history to have healthy food and everything, right from for kids and for adults and elders. I would like to also add on, a question that earlier you mentioned about labeling the supplementaries. So, and how bad it is in India. Could you shed some more light on it?
Uh, See, basically, the food labeling. Um, like, for example, if we are talking about these, uh, if it is like medication, there are definite rules regarding the claims and regarding the composition and everything. But when it comes to dietary supplements, I won't say there are no rules. There are rules, but these rules, there are not sufficient rules to uh, how these products are to be labeled. And like there are no specific information when you say when can you call a product Ayurvedic or the components, or when can you call it herbal. Yes, now FSSAI is coming up. There are certain rules, but they are not sufficient. Actually, what happens is these dietary supplements have so many different components that it becomes difficult whether where to put them in, which kind of uh, criteria, like whether to put them in pharma regulations or nutra regulations. That is why it is becoming difficult. Yes, but we do not really have sufficient labeling standards here when it comes to dietary supplements. Yeah.
Right. And coming to our last question, since because of the pandemic, do you think there is an increase in the consumption? And I still personally don't get what the hype is about regarding when it comes to supplements.
Yeah, that's a very good question. As I was telling you, that industry, I mean, you can't blame the industry because the industry is made of people like us. It kind of feeds on the that fear of that new disease which came, especially during COVID time, during this pandemic. And you won't believe, zinc supplement, which is supposed to offer you immunity booster supplements. I mean, I read it somewhere and I discussed it that during that pandemic, these immunity booster supplements sold more than even your anti-diabetic prescriptions.
Oh my
So
God.
because people were so scared, so worried, so anybody or anything that claimed to enhance your immunity, and people were, since we are topic, I want to make a point that immunity, you can't build immunity overnight. That today, okay, I can see COVID happening, so I will start popping in zinc tablets and my immunity will be great. It doesn't happen that way. Over the years, over the time, whatever you have been eating, drinking, whatever is your lifestyle, and also presence or absence of a comorbidity. When I say comorbidity, presence or absence of a disease which you might be having, like obesity, overweight, diabetes, whatever. All this contributes to your immunity makeup. So, to gain good immunity, you start to work from today. Just popping in suddenly those zinc tablets or any other immunity boosting things is not. And secondly, too much of immunity also is not what
It's
we
bad.
want, right? Because that also we saw in COVID. So yes, during COVID, you name it, people wanted to lose weight and they wanted to do whatnot. So all that was really hyped. Now, since you are saying that this was your last lecture, so I would just like to sum up what I have been telling you,
Yes.
that well balanced diet, and healthy lifestyle. That is the mantra of good health. No dietary supplement, no nothing can, really beat that. Having said that, sometimes dietary supplements are required. Now, if they are required, or when you decide to take any dietary supplements, following are some of the questions which everyone needs to ask oneself. One is, do I really need that dietary supplement? Can I not get these things from my diet which I am consuming? Are they safe? Is there sufficient evidence to tell me whether it can be safely consumed? How long do I plan to take it? Am I planning to take it for 1 week, 15 days, 1 month, or how many months? Now, since if I am going to take it for a number of days, cost, which is very, very important. Am I, is the cost justifying whatever supplements I am taking? What are going to be the after effects once I stop taking that supplement? Or even when I start taking that drug nutrient which I was telling you. Thirdly, how am I going to review my progress once I start taking the supplement? Like if I am not doing it under proper guidance, how will I know whether the reason for which I was taking that supplement, have I achieved that or not? Right? Thirdly, and lastly, if at all I am on any kind of medication, which few people may not be, but for your mothers and parents, if they are going to be on any medication, is that supplement going to interfere with my medication? So these are some of the questions which you must ask before you start your journey with your health journey with dietary supplements, I should say. So I want you to take this message home and spread it to everyone. And I hope that I have answered most of your questions.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. In fact, there were so many things I wasn't aware of, and I certainly gained some takeaways from this. And one is always uh, doing enough research before and consulting someone who specializes in that field before taking any supplements. That is one for sure. And always looking at home for homemade meals and before anything I take from outside. So yes, that was a really important note.
Correct.
And uh, and with this, I would like to conclude our live for today. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. It really, I'm sure it helped all of us, and because it's a generation where supplements have been given a lot of light upon, and there are many adolescents like me, I'm sure, who have questions about whether to take or not. And coming from someone who is so experienced, I think we certainly did learn something new today. And thank you so much, ma'am, once again for joining. We hope to see you again in
Yes,
our next
sure.
another session.
Thanks to Rita and thanks to your department
Yes,
for
yes.
thinking of this Nutri Jockey is a wonderful concept. And all the best
Thank
to
you.
all of you
Thank you, ma'am.
and continue doing this good work. Okay, all the best.
Thank you, ma'am, and have a good day.
Bye.